recording. Do you remember the Abby 3 stream like no one's watching? We did that for a very specific reason. I would like to do that again. Because, as I've said, you just talk. You just don't get what you would get if I wasn't talking. So I'm going to try it out. If I wasn't conscious of being recorded, that sort of thing. That's why I support stream like no one's watching. But that, honestly, stream like no one's watching is like the reverse of streamer brain. So it's no wonder that it's not something that people will do very often. Okay, so yeah, leave on here for now. What is it we're doing? I have to get used to that as well, because now that I'm being recorded, there are certain things I would say, but then I'm thinking, should I be saying stuff, or should I not be saying stuff? X, Y, Z. Pardon me, need to get used to that. Okay, so yes, I want this laptop to have a break. Set up this. Let's put this here. My fingers are cold. Oh, to be fair, I'll use the second person sometimes while I'm speaking, i.e. when I'm not being recorded. But now if I use the word you, knowing that I am being recorded, I think my brain defaults to the audience of the video rather than the supposed audience that already understands what I'm saying. So I guess I feel a bit more lonely. Let's take this out. Let's put this in. Yeah. Let's turn this laptop off. That video is fun. We could have. No, actually, we could have, but. On my back. Okay. Put this to this side here. We could put this on top. I don't think that's a good idea. I think it is not. Okay, so. Oh, blue eyes. We didn't get the whole setup. Okay. Everything's changed. There was some things I would have said, and I said, no, let's get the recording set up, because then at least I get this whole planning stuff, and now the planning stuff is gone. What is Fumiko doing that? I see. Wait, why is Fumiko? I think I know why Fumiko's here. Yeah, that's why Fumiko's here. I do remember that. I'll get Blue Eyes' setup. And Blue Eyes' past setup. Oh, is it on the same page? No, it's yeah, that already looks like her. Oh yeah, the birds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I'll be down again. Dinner. Wait, you've done that before. Dangerous. Right. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, dangerous dinner. How'd you get oh, we got Fumiko stamps as well. Fumiko, what? Okay, I know you have this. So actually this should be here, but it's not. Well, we can verify that it should be where it should be. Wait. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. No. Susanna. No, it is there. It is on the left hand side. Gwen. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's 8:56. So at 9:30. That's when we review. Oh, I forgot about this video. Wow. Okay. Oh, 52. Okay, so it needs to be that one, does it? What is this? Is this really? No. Heart rate's going up. Lucia.
Bowling.
Are you here? No.
Let's go.
Okay.
Survival bowling.
Lucia, Rachel,
The contestants.
people, Rachel, Gwen, Alicia, Gwen, Yoko, Giovanna, Marcofino.
Round one.
What is the control variable? Gwen. Plessy. She's right-handed. Split. Well done. Play F. David. Yes, David. David and Patrick are here.
Great double.
Split. That's a half and he split. Oh, wait, what? No, he had a reduced and he split. Oh, I can't see. Heart rate. Oh, it's not even heart rate, it's just a frame. Why did it feel slow? I wonder if it's. I still wonder if the ball was slower because of how great it was today. But control variable's not there, is it? Giovanna. Gwen. Yes, Gwen. How'd you do, Gwen? Well done. He's like, I understand. Yeah, we're too late this out. We'll see you again.
Round 2.
Oh, we're too late.
Wonderful.
Yeah, this is a bit worse. I'm not sure if my brain is perceiving the ball differently. It's just in the back of my head. Is the bowling actually slow, or is it? I guess what we do is just keep bowling what we think is the same way. Yo, go. Yo, go. Oh, someone had a parry split. I see that. Different.
Yeah.
Heart rate's going up. That's interesting. As if your heart rate goes up, your capacity is reduced. So I guess there's endurance and then there's, well, you can only endure so much.
Go, go.
Yeah, those guys are better. The only person who's talked to was Plessy. He's got what, reduced any? So my guess is Rachel. TV convert, no, he's got 2 pins. I liked what he did, Hidamasa. He got 9 pins. What player be converted this way? Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure if that's enough. We lost everyone. Well, we didn't. We still have Barbara's friends. Yo, go. Yo, go.
Semi-finals.
Giovanna. be honest, that looked like the other stripe. Yeah, Gwen's cheering you on, Blue Eyes. Go, Gwen. Oh, Pablo. Close. Well done, Gwen.
Spare.
Yoko.
Strike.
Well done, Gwen. Yeah. Just lose Gwen though. I think it's in that couch has orange hair. Let's have a look. David, Giovanna, Rachel. You think Peter Muscle goes next to
Final
them?
round.
Your couch is there, Blue Eyes, with those three.
Double.
Not sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure. I feel like we're doing the same things to just do what we feel. Until you understand what you're doing. There's not really much to say that Blue Eyes is doing anything wrong. But my reality can change. And I can then think that Blue Eyes is doing something wrong. And then Blue Eyes does something wrong. 279.
Congratulations.
Oh, fabulous. Yeah, these guys are here for you, Blue Eyes. There's Percy. David, Rachel, Giovanna, Patrick, Alicia, orange hair. And Yoko, that person, that's player D. And player C, black hair. I also hear that Massa has orange hair. And Rachel, Gwen have brown hair. And you and Pablo have white hair. So see how our heart rate progresses. If it gets too high and it doesn't go down, then there may be a sign or something. I'm thinking Matt Wholesome stuff. I know physical training and this is not the same thing. Like physical output and this isn't the same thing, but there are some ties. I think it's good to differentiate the ties between what makes the two things similar, what makes them different. One thing that I think is similar is that no matter what, if your heart rate's higher, you don't have as much capacity physically and mentally. So if your heart rate does go up and it goes up too much, then even things like bowling in a very specific manner might be harder, and so either you're more likely to make mistakes that you don't even feel like you're making, or it feels like you're putting in more work, or the work just feels, whatever it is that you're doing doesn't feel right for what you're doing because your heart rate's high. It's my theory. And so
Bowling.
even though this is just bowling, I still feel like that is a thing where, you know, your heart rate gets too high, you need to take a break.
Let's go.
That doesn't happen with Play Locally, because Play Locally, for a lot of reasons, is more comfortable. But here, heart rate can easily go. Is that Julie? Or is that... I think that might be someone else.
Survival bowling.
I don't know.
The
Who's
contestants.
around? Okay, no, it's CPU help. That's what it is. And
Round
it's not a
one.
funny matchup. I mean, the Pro League's supposed to pay you right, isn't it? But then it's paired blue as the players at rank C and stuff. It's quite interesting. Let's see what these guys do.
Right.
See, there's plenty of strikes, so the CPU help will get you up there, isn't it? But that person looks like Julie. It's better. I wonder who she is. We'll find out soon enough.
Double.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Ooh, did he have a spare thing? Maybe. Sure. The person who got 8 pins. Who's up? Percy? That happened in the previous row.
Nice there.
So something about the throw is different. How long will that last? Who knows? There's Percy. That's Perky, yeah. Well, I think it's just Percy. Not using CPU.
Round two.
That is the Julie rank. She looks more like Michaela though. See how the game continues.
Strike.
Do you think it's right? You froze with the pink joystick, just saying. The last player. Oh no, wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see the way the ball hit that pin, it only hit it once. I feel like if it hit that pin twice, it would have drifted away from 5. Maybe. It's just a maybe, that one.
Semi-final.
Is he left-handed? Oh, I never did the thing really.
Spare.
I know what we did. Control variable.
Nice strike.
Well done.
Double.
Let's have another look. Yeah, I feel like it. Oh, I feel like I only hit the pin once. If we hit it twice, I think he would have missed. He's right-handed. You know what that means, but he actually might have a 2-4. He should be 2-3-7. Don't think he's 2-4-7. No, he is 2-4-7. No, he's 2-5-7. You're 2-5-8. Yeah, he had 2-7-8. You know he's done today. He's 2-5-7.
Final round. Fantastic.
See how the ball drifted.
Amazing.
Oh, what happened to him? What actually happened to him? He was doing so well. You got 2 fights, you would have tied him. If you got Zaki, he didn't even get one strike. What actually happened to him? That's crazy. I think that's crazy how that happened.
Congratulations. Finish.
He had it. He was holding the floor. Could happen to you. $30. Let's see what Play Locally does. You knew what 2 spares. You've had 3. Yeah. You do the analysis yourself. You can do the analysis. I don't want the analysis bit to affect the state of my brain. Well, honestly, I don't know. Play with what you like. They won't change your performance, so just pick what you like the looks of.
Boko Square.
Two to 3 runs. 3 runs.
Strike.
Steph. Leg.
Great double.
Fairly confident it's not the Joy-Con. Yeah, that bowling looks like the bowling with 2D controller. Just as a recording note, so what happened was I was looking at Blue Eyes' sessions with Charlene with the first ones, and that was when I thought Blue Eyes' bowling was weird. And I watched that and I thought, well, the bowling looks the same as Barbara's. What is this? Is it really in my head? Because sometimes I said in the past, it could just be all in the head. Yes, like my reality can change if I'm stressed, is what it seems. Like I've wondered about that in the past. If things actually feel like they're a lot worse than they actually are, I feel like that can happen to you. So it could be a case where we go in to play globally and then suddenly we feel like everything's weird because perhaps we're more stressed and more anxious, so that's increasing our stress levels. So maybe that makes everything feel slower. Like everything we see, everything we hear feels a bit slower than usual, perhaps, when we're more stressed. ? So maybe that's why when Blue Eyes went from play globally to play locally, it started to feel different. Yeah, she got all those spares. Maybe I was just mad. Sat down for a bit, switched Joy-Cons. don't like that is the zip.
Wonderful.
Oh no. That's funny. This is a different Joy-Con, isn't it? The same thing's happening.
Nice trick.
Yeah.
Spin.
You can't see my feet, so I'm going to make a point about it. Because of my ankle is the rest.
Finish.
Oh, you did get 253. We were going. Oh, because you got the reduced any split on frame 9, didn't you? I was looking forward to 252 since that's not a score that I see very often. Yeah, 225 didn't see that number often, do I? Does help that Barbara had that thing because Barbara just kept getting strike. I think about what I Blue Eyes is past, well, I don't know, 3 sessions. I think she's had at least 5 strikes in a row in each one. In 2 of them she's had 8 strikes in a row, I think. And then just seeing all of it, it's just, we're used to it now. I think that helps. Keep the heart rate down, yes, because when someone does it for the first time, that's what I was saying before, you do it for the first time, you think, oh my goodness, I could do it. Because for whatever reason, you make a big deal about getting that score. So because you make such a big deal about it, that brings up your heart rate. Which might also be because you're feeling a bit more anxious, since you could get that score, but you could also not get it. And if you don't get it, that's a big achievement that you don't have, even though that's only because everyone puts such an emphasis on the strikes and all that. But once you start getting it so often, it just feels like, okay, well, I'm used to seeing this. Not just that, but you get it more often, and then you stop putting an emphasis on the fact that you got it. It's just, yeah, it's another strike. Okay, next. And even the split, you just, alright, it's a split. Okay, you missed. Okay, moving on. Still good to appreciate how you missed the split, that's how you progress, but yeah. If that makes sense. Heart rate feels a little bit lower than it was. 2 things. 1, it does feel lower than it was from the Play Globally sessions, that helps. 2, even Matt Holston himself has said many occasions when he does his running and he's talking to the camera, his heart rate goes up. And so, to some extent, he tries to limit how often he talks because he's trying to measure his heart rate based on his running, so he understands his pace at that heart rate, if that makes sense. And he's not going to get an accurate result if his heart rate is being increased by the fact that he's running. Which is interesting because my heart rate probably does go up while I'm talking for many reasons, including the fact that I often feel like an idiot. And so, if I'm talking like I am right now, there's a good chance my heart rate's going up, and then going into Play Globally, my heart rate goes up, and if my heart rate goes up, I have less capacity to do anything else, including helping Blue Eyes bowl, and so therefore, Blue Eyes' bowling is more likely to be offset because I'm talking a lot, and because of the Play Globally atmosphere for me and how I interpret it. So that goes back to the times where I said in the past, I don't really like talking while streaming, checking the live channel and stuff. I can't do that. If you want to see this level of bowling from Blue Eyes, then it's almost like I'm saying, please leave me alone. Which I'm not sure if that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think people interpret please leave me alone very well, but it's a bit like that. I'm basically trying to say, give me some space, because if you don't, you're not going to get what you want, which is this. What is it? Do you want me to talk to you, or do you want to see Blue Eyes do the stuff? You can't have both, so you gotta pick one. Even this talk has increased my heart rate. I can feel it in my head, which is funny because that's not where my heart is, but it makes sense that I can feel the effects of my heart rate going up in my head. Or is it the other way around, where you think too much and then it increases your heart rate? I don't know, don't care. Right, now so let's see.
That's right. Spare.
Get that up. Ooh, another topic. This is also why I felt like talking with friends while playing can also have that effect. Because for me anyway, I feel like maybe I have to say something back, or I have to be fully switched on to what they're saying. But if I'm doing that, it means I have 1, less capacity to bowl, and 2, what if what they're saying makes my brain do X, Y, and Z, and then increase my heart rate, etc. Maybe it's different for different people. Those who classify themselves as extroverts and those who classify themselves as introverts could be different. Hence why it's okay, Susanna, yes, she likes to use stamps a lot, but what if that does stuff to people? I still believe that the stamps don't need to be off, and you don't have to not use stamps at all. Like Barbara, I remember Barbara with Alfie. Barbara didn't use stamps Alfie was just using the cat stamp or stuff. He's using the ice cream on that eye. Let's use. Hold on. Is that Fred? Let's see.
Amazing.
Alfie kept using that stamp. And Barbara, maybe she responded once, but Barbara doesn't use often. She does not use stamps constantly like that. So it's not like Barbara's ignoring Alfie, but Barbara doesn't necessarily use stamps as much as Alfie does. Even Blue Eyes and Charlene were a bit like that. Charlene uses the stamps more often than Blue Eyes, but Blue Eyes will show a bit of acknowledgement. It's just one little stamp, and then that's it. Charlene wants to use more, that's fine. That doesn't mean that Blue Eyes will use more, and I think Charlene understands that. Even Tanya. Introverts and extroverts can be together.
Yes.
They can be together without disrespecting each other. Which is the whole reason why Blue Eyes is not a part of Sprocket Square, even though she technically isn't. He doesn't feel too uncomfortable. Also, Susanna and Tilly.
Go, go.
Something about the way the ball is spinning there. Water. Sorry. 20. Mm. Mm-mm.
Great go.
But I think that making this sort of this down. Don't doubt yourself. Let go of the ball, that's it. All inside.
Nice there. Nice strike. Double. Yes. Wow. Amazing. Spare. Strike.
streak. 236. That is a good score. Wait.
Spoko Square. Bowling. Let's go. Survival bowling. The contestants.
Look, that guy's familiar. 8 Just look familiar.
Round one.
Oh, I like what he did. Is that player A or player B? I think that's player A though. What he did was really creative. Okay, we might get to see him again. He's the only guy left. He only got one pin.
Double.
Everyone done? Play. Who's that? Listen to that. Getting the goggles and zoom in. How good is your vision, boys? How did he do that guy? Don't know what his name was. what call is his rank? Who is he? Is he player? He's not player D, is he? Player D. He's player D. Player D. No, he's player.
Round 2. Yes.
What pin was that? The way pin number 3 did that. I'll calm down, Blue Eyes. Alright. How do I spin? Got it. Goal plan, stick to it. Committed. Sorry, good job, Kirby. Actually, thought this whole time player B was using CPU help.
Spare.
But I kept thinking of player B because she has your hairstyle blue eyes. We've seen player C before. End of round 2. Okay. That's too much. We'll take it. That's dangerous though. Go on. Well done. That's nice.
Impressive shot.
Fretting a little bit. Oh, you got 258. You actually got 258 set up now. Was it close to hitting? Was it close to hitting the second ball? I think. Just a bit like this. She's left
Final
handed.
round.
She's good.
Next round.
Pardon me. Ah, I know what's going on there.
Great double.
Oops. Holding back. That's what's going on. The ball drops like that. just hit the break. 2v4.
Congratulations. Finish.
Heart rate.
Bowling. Here we go.
Round 2. I was 16. That's not good.
Survival bowling.
Maybe.
The contestants.
What are you not doing? Well, some people are in.
Round 1.
So last time we filled too much. We gave it. go back. Oh, even he messed up. But I think, no, he's not even in the qualifiers yet. Get stuck in there, don't you? Yes, you can do it. We'll wait for the gates to go back. Too much. Kept 17. Even he had 18, nothing. Clearly he's not spare. So that's he finished. We didn't even go wrong. It was the throw. The throw was wrong. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. It seems like. Oh, the platform's not moving. What did that mess it up? I think it could have messed it up that much. The platform was not moving. So it didn't lose as much of its spin as it may have done otherwise. Could be something in it. You did something. Oh, player B. Oh, it is a competition. You gotta put on the performance. It's alright.
Good game.
Let's see what case like.
Finish.
Yeah, 26. Two Luena splits. We'll do one more because it's not 30 minutes yet. The G9, yeah, the G9 was you hit par because you're too close. Second throw was pretty good, but you missed one pin. That may have held that, may have saved you. Let's think, you'd had 10 and then 18, 28, no, 26, 35, no, would have been gone. If you got the same exact thing that you got, you would have been gone. You wouldn't have though, because you would have had different specialties if you got a pickup.
Here we go.
Goodness. Decided I don't know who
Survival
that person
bowling.
was.
The
Trying to
contestants.
figure out who's who. Yeah, for the sake of stunt. Oh, there's actually a lot of people out here.
Round 1.
Oh, she's
Ooh, strike.
What did she do on the second time? The swing's not coming through. I don't think that's Peter, but exactly. Oh. Yeah, used to say 1, 2, 3. For this one.
Great double.
H. Goes as far as H, right there. You gotta hold it. Go. Go. That's it. 29. What's PC doing? Sorry. I still remember when. Yeah. I heard the reference, so I'm not going to go for that. With blue eyes, and I'm not going to do it. The throw. The throw is not committed. We can do better. That can be quite important sometimes, the throw.
Hey, spare.
Clearly went from the wrong side. That player C? Yeah, I think so.
Round 2.
Good job. tricky one. Well done.
Strike.
Yeah, I forgot she got a spare earlier. She's fine.
Semi-final.
Yeah, it's those two. Blue Eyes play okay. The four's got in the head, the four's gone. As Blue Eyes is dropping the ball like that. I think the point the ball gets popped out of it. It's almost like it's too early. I think that's what it is, it's too early. Oh, that split hurts. Yeah. I didn't even know what that was. That was an interesting split 10, that was. Just one bar. Go and play a cave. Sleeping down there? Oh, well, you're sleeping now. There he's gone. Oh, could have been. That was too late that time.
Spare.
Yeah, higher at the top. That's because she hasn't thrown yet. She has no triangles. So, yeah. 2 points tops. Used to get that. Next pin. Put her at 144. So it's close. We close the gap, but she has, she has just a strike that one. Let's play it in. She could be 1 point over play H. I honestly thought you were gone, Blue Eyes. I thought that was it. But after those two split sevens. I think that's between early frame and late. That's the question. Even that was like, so they're trying to get me not to do. You were fun earlier. Good job. Wait, now she... Oh, right, she hasn't had her bonuses yet. So that's why she's not ahead. Also, well, yeah, no, she can get 60 points from here. You and player H can only get 50 points. That's the thing. So 20, I don't know what that is. No, I don't know. Just leave it at that.
Final round.
Yeah, same thing again.
Great double.
shouldn't even be seeing it. It's like censored. She missed a pin. Censored. You missed 2. Well, I mean, she already missed a pin. That's it. Like the fact that you got the strike first, that already makes a difference. I was going to say, what if I was getting the pickup? That was a misjudgment. The gap was 2, wasn't it? So she either won by 1 point, or you won by 1 point. Oh.
Congratulations.
A bit more broken than that. That's not what I meant, blue eyes.
Finish.
That's what I mean. Yeah, because no, you both had a strike, which means you both had 2 triangles. But let me tell you a story. Her triangles only added up to 10, whereas yours added up to 18. So if you imagine it, he had 152, you had 162, and she had 164. She got 9 and 1, which meant 162, 172 plus the spare 182 plus 9. Or was it? No, she had 164, sorry, it says 164 plus 10, 174, the spare 184 plus 9, 193, which is what she got. You, on the other hand, was 162, you were 162, strike, and then 8, so 18 plus 162, 180 plus 18, 198, which is where you finished. You would have had 200 points. You would definitely have placed a carving, but this laptop is low battery. This one is okay. That is well over the second half hour. For me, too early to draw conclusions. We still haven't, control variable, so keep going.
Boko square.
This is not in, will be determined wrong. Oh, it's not plugged in. Oh, that's why this is plugged in. So that thing is going to have to last another session, because I'm not plugging it in because I'm lazy. Luz. No, not really because I'm lazy, I just want to save time. I want to save time. No, you don't see what you can do, don't say that.
Strike.
You, Emma. Okay. It's okay.
Double.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Amazing.
That was definitely so. I don't know. Mario, as he says, what's the... Wow. See, he kept the ball in the middle. No, because it hit 1, went that way, hit 2, went the other. That's what happened. That's good. No. Wow, good.
Impressive shot.
Straight into that pin. Yeah, interesting spin, and I guess they must have done that. Control there, window.
Spare. Strike. Great double.
Good shot. That's late. That's definitely late. That's not early. That also got played a bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also got played. I don't know. Or is it just because she's pushing the ball out? It's supposed to be control it. Yeah, but control it.
Go, go.
Control it. Keep using the control variable.
Wonderful. Fantastic.
So, this is a little bit better than usual.
Finish.
Alright. You're getting noises. I know what you're getting. Now the box is too close to me.
Strike.
The box shouldn't really be tilted in this direction. It should be tilted the other way. No, 56.
Great double.
Brain wants to break free from the control variable. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Go, go.
Wait.
Great shot. Nice strike.
thinking about next time. Heart rate's going up. What's the time yet? It's 10:40. Don't be heart rate goes through.
Yes.
I feel like I didn't hit it good, so I pin number 2 just kept going that direction.
Amazing.
Push pin number 2 more in that direction. But then as it pushed pin number 2 that way,
Go, go.
keeps pushing pin number 2 that way.
Wonderful.
There's a point where you get too much and you pin number 2s like that. Balance is important.
Fantastic.
Let's see.
Finish.
280. Right. 3 minutes left. Is that enough of a break? I'm not sure. Heart rate right now is a bit lower. It goes higher when you start thinking more, or it goes higher when I start thinking. I should just keep talking the way that I talk. When I say you, it doesn't always refer to the audience, but you get the idea. Well, hopefully. Heart rate goes up when you start thinking about end goal. That makes going into the pro league a bit distracting. You know that you're working towards this thing now. How do you get it out of your head? I'm not getting used to it, I guess. I don't know. Heart rate's going up. As we know people are there. One of those things that's quite personal to me because I'm an introvert, question mark? Or because I feel stupid about myself. It's probably more of that. You can be introverted and confident about yourself. And have that confidence and not be wavered by the presence of other people. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't really know what an introvert is.
Bowling. Here we go.
Heart rate. I thought it was Haley.
Survival
Yes.
bowling. The contestants.
You. Where are you? Oh, it's player B. Yeah, player B. The next to player
Round
B
one.
is Haley. Oh, well done. Well done. Well done. Well done, player A.
Nice there.
This time, I'm looking at screen stuff. Player H. You can't. What are you trying to do? What was that? Player player B. What triangles do you need for now? That is quite rare, isn't it?
Straight.
38. Oh, what happened to player A? She must have got no triangles of whatever special thing she. Well, she only had a spare as well. Maybe she got another G spare. No, that doesn't make sense. How did she end up with 30 points? And she got 5 pins? Maybe that's what happened to her? She got a spare. 5 plus 5, 10, 20. And then she got a strike. That's my guess. That's what happened to player A. Wow. I was so sure player A was going to make it through. It's crazy. That stuff happens to anyone.
Round two.
I'm sure that's Dragon Ball C as well. Yeah, wrong anime, Blue Eyes. You haven't watched that one. It's Haley. Dark Haley. She get a stronger spin. I need to build confidence out of anyone else's failures, so I'm not looking at sports. Pardon me. Those platforms are not moving. They're stationary, or they're bridges really. See how peanut butter that was like. Who's that then? Up there. Yes. He's playing. Pages up there. One, two, three. So wait for the pillars to go back down. Scan your teeth. You have some triangles to get. Luckily no one has 3 triangles. I'm going to say control variable. Because what we just did, we tried to manufacture what we did earlier. Something half-hearted. 3 Yoshi Islands. Well done. Okay. Who's that a double player? Dark Hate. Dark Hate. Got nothing in this one. Dark Hate. Poison. Control variable. What is that? Conscious technique. Consciously saying I do this. Just like this. That was looking at my password. Oh, that throw there, that throw. That was that throw. I was going to say scores, but don't. Again, that's for you. You can enjoy the scores. Wait, Blue Eyes and I. We don't need to look at that. We don't need to look at that. And if we do look at it, then I appreciate it and have it be unrelated to Blue Eyes' score. Or what Blue Eyes needs to do. Blue Eyes, the only thing Blue Eyes needs to do to win the match is score strikes. It's like if you score strikes all the time, you can't even go wrong. You can't go wrong if you get a strike. So what's the point of anything else?
Yes.
There's nothing else to think about. I mean, it's like, I don't know how to explain. If you're worried about failing, well, if you're getting a strike, you can't fail, isn't it?
Amazing.
But I feel like that kind of goes against other things I've said. No, not really. See if we can talk about it a bit later. This thing shall be better.
Wonderful.
We want Abby's game. Good recovery. Just 228.
Congratulations.
It's those skills.
Finish.
Okay. Yeah, because I guess strikes are overrated, so you don't necessarily need to play for strikes, if that makes sense. But I'm saying if you're worrying about being eliminated, there's nothing to worry about, because if you get a strike, then you're either already eliminated or you won't be eliminated. There's no way you can go wrong if you get a strike. And then if you don't get a strike, then well, that's too bad. That person looks like Shreen Beck, if that's her name. The person in the white, with white hair, on the right hand side for us. If you get strikes all the time, you can't go wrong. If you don't get a strike, well, that's too bad. But the only way you will have a chance of staying in the competition is if you get another strike afterwards. So you mess up, fine, but then your next goal is to get another strike, because, well, not really just to get, it's like your aim is always to get as many pins knocked over as you can. So if you're doing that, you can't really go wrong. So if you know how to get a strike in every frame, there's nothing to worry about, just try and do it. You don't need to think about the gap between the skills. That can be fun, yes, it can be fun. Blue Eyes, where is your halo? Let's go pick that up. Well, I just noticed those halos over there. Yeah, your halo's gone. That's surprising. Let's go get your halo back. Remember everything but your halo, Blue Eyes. Oh, got an error. Okay.
Bowling. Here we go.
Believe there's only one other person. Sure.
Survival bowling.
Don't know if
The
that's the person
contestants.
who is it. There's a football guy and no, that's it. It's the football guy.
Round one.
You're left, boys. No, you're right. Control the label. Isn't it the ball? Oh, I thought that's a really odd place for pin number, you know. What pin would that be? What? 8. 4. Heart rate. Rachel! It's not Rachel, but you know. What do you think? Well, you don't adjust it, right? So how can this question mark? Honestly, couldn't tell you before. What happens? No idea. Your character 39. Get 38. How's he doing? What's he got? He got no pins out of that. Didn't do anything. I didn't even know what he had. That's whatever. Might be too close. That's it. If she gets it. Play a bit more.
Nice pair.
And be committed. Right there. You are right there. You got that slot from that slot was given to you by playing. And you got nothing. Get a strike. Use no other strikes. And that was it. He just gave you that.
Round 2.
That was the same throw again. That's point. Yeah, I had a feeling. Unless you don't realise. Yeah, that's they yeah, you get the mercy of them. Person does it like this.
Spare. Nice
Time. T85. So what's that? What's 1 plus 9? It is T7. No, it's not. 1 plus 9 is 10. Yeah, from 68 to 73. That's it. That one pickup we messed up. It doesn't matter because you get another chance to try again.
Good game. Finish.
You know, it's just the position 6. That doesn't look like a winning position. I'm used to. Well, maybe that's because I'm used to Mario Kart. The 6 is considered a good position. That's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 specifically. Where 6th place is a good spot. You only got 1 strike and it was really weird. That did kind of let's see, charged. It's all to one whole game, and then you might have some kind of conclusion based thing. Did I turn this up? No, I didn't. Just the beds are really loud. Not really slow. That might be because I like how this bus sounds.
Bowling. Here we go.
Let's go. This looks like
Survival
Ooh.
bowling. The
What's
contestant.
that line look like? It's player F.
Round 1.
Kissing. Realize that was terrible. Try again. Oh, you already lost. Yeah, both times. You got no physical spin out. Where's your capture 31? You're gone. You can't make it through 31. Who do you think this is? No, player H got no points. Let's give this a time.
Strike.
How do you hit pin number 2? Yeah, I see that. What's this one?
Great double.
Yeah, you got 31, so it's like a best version. Wow. 33. 37. Plenty yes to go again. Yeah. Even if you got just a couple more pins at Harry's thing. Oh no. You would have made it. Yeah, you went for Fumika's spin. I said.
Nice game. Finish.
Did you get a strike at the end of this? You think so? Yeah, you did. You did. Something about that throw. You also got a strike on frame 2. I'm not sure I remember how that went. Oh no, that was the wonky strike. The strike on frame 2 was wonky. I felt like the strike on frame 3 was good. For me, from my perspective, there's something interesting. I'm going to talk about it. it's annoying because, you know, I know you and I have it. We can go all the way. But it really is all in the head. Well, that's nice. Well, it's all in the head. And when it gets to you in the head, what gets to you in the head? When the anxiety gets to your head, your heart rate goes up and your body's capacity goes down. Also, your brain's capacity goes down. So, I'm not sure if your body's capacity goes down. I think it's more your brain's capacity goes down. What happens when you're anxious is I feel like your body does something, or from what I've been told, your body does stuff to help you fight and attack danger. Except that's physical danger, which you don't have. Like, well, you might have it, but you're not feeling that, and I don't have it either. We don't have physical danger. So what anxiety does to our body has no benefit. No, it doesn't. Now, in terms of our brain, well, if our brain can't think as rationally because of the anxiety, then it will affect your bowling. And so that's really what it comes down to, which I guess is the thing that annoys me the most to some extent, because in my head, I feel like I know it's not that we can't do this, it's that we can't cope out there, partially because of the way it is out there, not because, I wouldn't say it's because we're scared of losing to the other players. I think it's more because we don't trust the other players. For example, we don't trust that they appreciate you or appreciate the sport. We don't feel comfortable around the other players because we don't feel any sense of passion from them. And so when we get out there, I think that's one thing that pins us down. That wouldn't be the case if it was a play locally session. In line with that is the fact that there's an emphasis on you winning the match because that's the only way you advance. Whereas there isn't an emphasis on getting a high score in play locally because I don't know, you're just not really that fussed about. We're not really that fussed about the score. It's more about the technique. And then if we don't get the technique right, we can just try again until we figure it out. But you don't get to try again in play globally, so if you get it wrong, then you might think, okay, but if this is wrong, then what's right? There are only so many chances I have to get this right before I can't get it right anymore in this session, which might mean that points go down, get eliminated, etc. If that's in the back of your head while you're out there, you have less capacity to actually do what you're supposed to do. That's why I kept monitoring my heart rate. Well, I don't have like a heart rate monitor. All I have is my head, my body, and my sensory organs. So use what you've naturally got to help you understand. I wonder if it would help if I actually had a heart rate meter thing that I could see, because if I could see that my heart rate's high and what makes it go up, even if it's just a little bit, I guess I can make a greater connection between what's causing the heart rate to go up and by how much, and then maybe that could be a direction to work on. there's a sense of an understanding of the technique, but between a play locally session or sessions and a play globally session, it can just be lost. Part of that probably comes from the fact that you have a play locally session, then you have another one, then you have another one, and you can just keep having them with minimal breaks. But then when you play globally, the spacing's a lot bigger, and you have to go from playing locally to play globally. So it's less continuous, it feels like a different environment. So we'll do this stuff and we'll just forget what we did. It's at this point that I don't even know if there's much point to training. Special lane training, sure. Still some positional analysis to do there. And then, as you saw, Blue Eyes could not Fumiko spin. She tried and she got one pin, and that was it. And because of that, And then sometimes the positioning in some of the other special lanes can catch her up. Besides that, she does okay. But even with her regular spot, just a way to the technique that she sometimes gets wrong. Not sure what the cause of that is.
Boko square.
So the heart rate went high. Most of the time it went high because we were thinking about the prelude, or it went high because we were actually there, or it went high because of the other players, or it went high when we knew what Blue Eyes had to do to stay in the game, which, as much as we already understand that what Blue Eyes needs to do doesn't change because we're already aiming to knock over 10 pins each time. Because we don't know if we're going to knock over 10 pins, knowing that we have to knock over 10 pins because there's the gap's too small between her and the next position down, that can create anxiety. So my heart rate will go up for that as well. We outlined thinking about the Pro League, enjoying the Pro League, thinking about the Pro League, being in the Pro League, seeing the other players, and then understanding your conditions for staying in your current position. Among other things that I haven't outlined, those are the 4 things that I've picked out that have increased my heart rate. I think that one other thing which leads on from the 4th thing is the fact that I know that Blue Eyes has been using this particular technique to score her strikes or to knock over as many pins as she can. But if I don't understand the technique for whatever reason, or I think I know what it is, but then when I swing, it doesn't come out, then my heart rate may go up because at that point I don't feel like we can even use this technique to knock over 10 pins. But if we can't use this technique to knock over 10 pins, we actually don't have any technique, because none of the other techniques that we know that we can use are techniques that we are confident. None of the other techniques that we feel we could use are techniques that we are confident could knock over 10 pins for us. So without an understanding of, let's say, our primary technique, we feel like we have no hope, or it's more of a there's a chance that Blue Eyes might knock over 10 pins, but it's only a chance, which means it's very likely that Blue Eyes may not get the strike. But because now we're in the Pro League, if Blue Eyes doesn't get a strike, then that's kind of it, isn't it? Because like I said, if Blue Eyes doesn't get, Blue Eyes doesn't do it, then Blue Eyes she risks losing her position or being eliminated. With that, we can say two things. One, at this point, it's as if Blue Eyes there's no value to Blue Eyes entering the Pro League. Because if Blue Eyes is planning to rank up, which Blue Eyes isn't, but I guess I am. Or Blue Eyes is planning to on my behalf, but I feel like, what would you say, Blue Eyes, that you don't have as much passion for ranking up as I do? Well, no, but the point is, if it's like I don't care that much, but I still rather clearly care more than you. That's what my question is, right? Would you say that I value this goal more than you do? Okay. I guess for her she doesn't care, but she's here, she's happy to help out. But for me, because I care about reaching this goal for the reasons I've mentioned before, it means that, it currently means that if Blue Eyes doesn't have a technique that has a high probability of her scoring knocking over 10 pins, then there's a high chance that Blue Eyes won't win her matches, in which she won't advance through the Pro League. So at this point, there isn't much value to her entering it if she is to rise through the league. Rise through the league. However, I can also say that we've been in there for probably a total of 1 hour and a half, because we had 1 hour and 20-ish, I don't know. We had 2 sessions of 30 minutes, and one that was around 20 minutes. So we got out there, we met the other players, we realised you're using a fair amount of stunts, I felt. Which was the other thing that we said, is that, at least we're out there giving other players something, because we otherwise wouldn't. So I feel like we achieved a balance, even though Blue Eyes is at a lower level now. Or Blue Eyes has a lower level now. And we don't feel confident about Blue Eyes' technique. At least Blue Eyes got out there and said hello. My issue with Fumiko, which I'm sure I mentioned yesterday, was that if Fumiko went out there, Blue Eyes still lost matches, but Fumiko would have lost more. I believe she would have lost more. And Blue Eyes, I feel like, as you've seen, she can do it. She can be consistent. I can be consistent with her. She has the potential to make it. But if I'm being too anxious, that's going to make it harder for Blue Eyes to do the thing. What's interesting about the Fumiko plan is that by having Fumiko do whatever, we're still gaining experiences towards Fumiko's techniques and etc., but without the added anxiety of what if Fumiko doesn't get a strike, because at that point it doesn't matter, since we're just thinking about being out there, having Fumiko play with the other players, and sharing experiences with them. Whether Fumiko wins or loses, etc., we're not that fussed. And because we're not that fussed, I think that will contribute to being a bit more relaxed. But since we're gaining experiences still, Fumiko, there's still a chance that Fumiko could come back. But that, I think, would be much further down the line, because one, Fumiko would have to win a lot more matches to get back up to the level she was at. And then, because we're playing with a completely different style, we have to grow accustomed to that. With Blue Eyes' style, we're fairly accustomed to it already. It's just figuring out exactly how it works, or more about how it works, and then being consistent with it. We're so close, basically, is what I'm saying, with Blue Eyes, whereas the Fumiko we're far away, so it would take longer. Even though we'd be being more relaxed, which helps with the Pro League aspect of our task, it would take her longer because the style's different. That is fascinating. The third hour would close in 12 minutes. I'm feeling pretty rubbish right now, so I'm not looking forward to cooking. But I got up really late. I didn't even get washed. After all that yesterday, didn't get washed. I got washed after I got up today. And I didn't order any food, so I had cereal, and then now I have to cook. That was the plan, but now I have to do it otherwise. I asked myself, where does that come from? What Blue Eyes did there. Susanna.
Great double.
Not right.
Fantastic. Wow.
Not too early.
Awesome.
Also not too early. The heck was gone.
Finish.
This score. Blue Eyes, it's your score. Your score's 224. Barbara's is 25. No, Barbara's is actually 279. Yours is 224. Right, that is your number. Two, two, four.
Strike.
What if you held the ball in that spot? I'll show you. Yeah, right there. Put out your hand.
Great double.
You can use your magic exploiting it. How much do I want this thing? I really actually, it's like Blue Eyes. We want to get it, but we don't want to get it using full-on exploits. We want you to bowl properly, Blue Eyes. So this is the spot, right? That looked a bit more fun. But, as you see, offset, I didn't really do too much. Yeah, but what if? What if what? I'll show you. So you go here, things spot.
Awesome.
Yep, seems so.
Wonderful.
Well, let's focus on this first, guys. Then I'll talk about what would be next. What's that from? You should throw it left, guys. You got that from me, did you? Let's have a look from this angle. Yeah. You threw to the left, guys. Also threw that on you. Same thing.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel like I know one. Oh. Okay. That is tricky for me. Don't ask what that means. I don't know what it means. Well, I say it because I don't know, it just has an idea. Trippy. You trip over and fall. It messes you up. I actually think it has something to do with epilepsy. They'll say this looks trippy, and you see like a bunch of colours and stuff. I guess that's where it came from. And these are like they're informal terms, right? But I seem to find it because I've heard it from gamers as well. Yeah, so realize it happened again. So when you do that, somehow the ball ends up going to the left. You end up throwing it to the left. That's still lame. It's still happy where it's going that way. I could try that, I don't know, I don't think that works. So, nope, happen again.
Yes.
There was a player that kept holding the ball in place like that. That's what this is reminding me of. But that one,
Go, go.
that was so much different. Oh, there is one of the backswing, blue eyes.
Finish.
More of the backswing. Oh, we're at 3 hours. I want to do one more. So that's what I'll do. Then I'll eat the biscuits and chocolate, and I'll make my dinner while feeling sad, and then I'll eat it. And then I don't know what I'm doing after that, because we could go back, and then I think it would just mess up my brain. I was thinking about apple blue eyes, but if I want to do that. Yeah, make a start. I'll see. I'd like to do something else, but I would like this to be done, isn't it? Too bad. We don't get to choose, do you? Well, it's like we get to choose. We have to make the right decisions. I don't know what that is.
Nice strike.
That's making an impact, but then the phrase on early. I can't tell the phrase on early or early. It's almost looking at the balls coming straight out your head. And that's not what we're going for.
Great double.
That was a bit better.
Go, go.
The swing felt differently. Bit late. Late but not out.
Yes.
There's that for it.
Yeah.
It just drops like that. Not a fan of those ones. I think that was a late throw. Some of the other throws have looked late, but that one looked a bit more than the others. That looked very much similar.
Wonderful.
The strike was different. It's interesting because you get tips for golf, but you don't get tips for bowling, isn't it? Oh, it's that throw again. I'm thinking about,
Amazing.
they teach you, the game teaches us how to use backswing, but you don't get taught how to throw the ball early or late. That might have something to do with why there are a lot more players, more advanced players
Nice spin.
in the golf leagues than the bowling ones, because the bowling ones are clueless. Well, we don't know, this is just an idea that the bowling ones are clueless because they're not actually taught how to play the sport. But then the golfers get all these tips. Because I would still argue that golf is a technical sport.
Strike.
But why is it that it seems to be less technical than bowling, even though you have varying pressures of wind, varying wind speeds in different hole locations? Because I'm saying you can have special bowling which is similar, yes, but then look, because that was different, right? There are no obstacles here, but that's what just happened. With golf, if there were no obstacles, it's unlikely that something like that would happen. If the wind speed was 0, the hole was in a place that you remember, just things like that. I feel like you'd be able to control that because you get taught how to control how much power you put in, how to hook and stuff like that. You get taught. You have a tutorial as well. The tutorial doesn't catch your backspin, but then you get taught about backspin, how the different clubs work. That was a server. Just various things like that. You get taught how to do that for golf. But things about the direction of your throwing late and early,
Finish.
how late and early you can throw, and how to actually throw the ball later on. You do get a tip about the hook, but there's no tutorial on the hook, which is quite big because if you don't know how to hook, so many people you see them in the A-Rank League, they look at the advanced special lanes and think, I can't do that. What? I don't know how to do it. They tell you hook by twisting, but look, I've twisted. Look, when Blue Eyes and I did Fumiko spin, I did twist my wrist. But the specifics of how to do that, you don't get taught. So being able to do all that and then remember it, it's hard. It's hard, but golfers have the luxury of that tutorial. For example, you could have no experience with golf whatsoever in terms of real life golf or golf in any other video game. This could be your very first golf experience, but you get this tutorial that says do this, do that, do this, do that. These tips that say stop right here for backswing. Listen, when Axel told me that he stops his Joy-Con during his swing right next to his leg, I did that and I thought, what? Why is it so easy? That's all it was, you just stop it right. That's crazy. And then I saw even the game tells you. And I thought, well, backspin is easier than I thought it was. The hooking thing for golf, I would say it's a bit trickier, yes, but also with golf you don't have to use that all too much. You can hit straight shots all the time and be just fine. But you get no spinning tutorial here. And then sometimes you have to spin, which you don't have to do with golf. You don't have to hook in golf, but here you do. That could throw you off. But that doesn't even apply to the standard lanes. You just throw straight. But there's so much to throwing straight, like I said. There's also how much power you put into the ball. So there's the power, there's late and early, there's the direction of the throw, and then there's the spin. I think I just outlined 5 different things that can impact your bowling. You can bowl from the same spot, but if one of those 5 things are offset by enough units, then, I don't know, you're getting an anti-split or something, and that's your game done. You get that split, sure you can learn how to convert it. That takes time. It takes time, which I think is the reason why the people who have the higher ranks, they either put themselves through that against their will to some degree. It's like they want this thing but they don't want to go through this, so then it feels like a grind to them. Or it's the people who actually like the sport, and so they would happily put themselves through these trials to learn how to play. And when I say put themselves through it and learn, I don't mean they have some guide. They just play around with bowling as we've been doing and looking at different things. What can you do? What happens if you do this? What happens if you do that? Because you're actually passionate about the sport. It's like advanced bowling here is a lot less accessible than advanced golf here, since you get a lot more help with golf. Interestingly, when it comes to golf as well, is they built the Spockers Square partnered with the golf place a lot later than the official opening. It took them a year to get the golf membership started up. So in our terms, that is outside of Blue Eyes as well. The golf area's DLC, and so the developers of the golf place probably put more of an effort to, I guess they're probably a bit more thoughtful about golf than they were about bowling. Maybe they just looked at bowling and said, yeah, well, people just enjoy knocking over pins, you don't need to get that technical into it. I actually agree and think many people just enjoy knocking over pins, so you don't really need to give bowling a tutorial. It's quite a classic sport and people play it casually a lot of the time. Although that does go against their description of roll the ball and knock pins over for the high school. The sport is still generally perceived as a casual one. More than golf, you hear more about golf tournaments in my world than you hear about bowling tournaments. I feel like golf is seen as more professional than bowling. Also, it's a richer sport, but as far as I've been told and seen or heard, golf is usually a sport that only the more wealthy people play, which is probably what gives it its status. Whereas bowling is more of a casual, let's just play this for fun. Let's just get together and play some bowling. Maybe that's why bowling never got a tutorial. This was an idea, I'm sure I had it maybe when we started training. You get a tutorial for volleyball. I think there are only two sports that you don't get a tutorial for, and those are tennis and bowling. Because you get it for volleyball, not badminton either. Badminton, tennis and bowling. Those are the three that you don't get a tutorial for. You get a tutorial for volleyball, football and chambara. Yeah, those three. I can sort of understand badminton, although there's some technical bit. In badminton and tennis, there's a strategy-based games as well. Whereas bowling is all you. Maybe I'm having a bias, I'm just thinking, because, let's take volleyball for example, because volleyball has a tutorial for it, but then there are things that you don't get taught, like, okay, if you block at this angle, the ball will probably go off towards the outside the court, which can leave you open to losing a point. And then if you hit the ball early and the ball has no extra power in it, so it doesn't say nice or ×2. If you hit the ball early at that point, it can go over the opponent's hands even if they're jumping. But you don't get all that. That's extra strategy that people develop. So that doesn't become, those sort of game elements don't become relevant unless the people you're playing with are using them. Sorry. Whereas with bowling, I feel like that technique is a bit more critical. Because I guess it also depends as well, but yeah, so now I feel like it's sort of the same, isn't it? It's like it's only because these players aren't able to do it that you would need to do it in order to compete. But with bowling, it feels like it's different for everyone because of how technical the sport is. Volleyball is a bit less technical, so there are less sort of ways to swing, if that makes sense. And that's how I feel about basketball as well. It feels like there are less controlled dynamics, if that makes sense. The inputs are less dynamic. So as long as you jump, not as long as, I still think there are some other things, but they never seem to occur to me. For the most part, it's if you jump and then you swing again at the right time, it will go in the hoop. Swing too early, it won't go in the hoop. Swing later, I'm not sure if there's a difference, but I personally did feel a difference when I tried swinging later. There are actually different ways to shoot as well. You can have a shot that goes really high in the sky and it can still go into the hoop. Who is it that I saw it from? I think it was Mark Ashton was the first person I saw do that. If not, it was Matt is C+, that I saw do those high 3-pointers. Do you think it was Ashton though? Where he did those. Yeah, but you don't even need to do that, isn't it? Whereas I guess with bowling, it feels like there are so many techniques that you need to be able to use, but you have no guidance. You're just thrown out there, expected to do this. It's not a case where it's you only need to do this if blah blah blah. If you want to get all the pins knocked over, you have to do this stuff, but you don't get taught how to do it. So I guess people are just expected to practice. There aren't any spin control, challenges like you had in Wii Sports. Even Wii Sports Club had it as well. You don't get that in Nintendo Switch Sports. So you have to come up with your own kind of training program, which is what we tried doing. We come up with different ones, but then again, you have to have the time and the dedication to feel like that's worth doing. And for a lot of people, I feel like that isn't the case. And so that's one reason why, for example, let's say examples. So one example is that's why you see players use sad stats when they see those special wins, especially the advanced ones. And I think that's also why there aren't that many players with the Infinity Ring that we've encountered, because we can still encounter them. I don't think there's anything stopping us from encountering Infinity Ring players, especially since our rank is S. And to be honest, in the Golf League, I've seen case in point be paired with one or even two players from the Infinity Ring League. I don't even think his rank is A yet there. I don't think his rank is A, I don't think Sky's rank is A, and they kept getting players from S and Infinity. That was a regular thing. I don't think there's anything stopping us from getting Infinity Ring players, but they just don't show up. Either because they have the rank and don't want to lose it, or because there just aren't that many players willing to go through all this stuff to get to it. And then even the players that we do get, are they getting 279 every single match? Because if they had put in the time to figure it all out, they would have done. But they haven't, and so it's very rare that you ever see it. We've only again, I've only seen it once from I, and that was just once. I'm not there yet with anyone, if that makes sense. Again, I try not to talk about myself too much, it's not really about me, but me helping I and the others hasn't happened. Getting that kind of score in survival bowling constantly. No, because even me, when I'm swinging for Blue Eyes, it's fairly arbitrary, and that's fine. But then there are certain things that we don't understand. So when it's either we get stressed or we lose faith in something, I'm not sure what it is, or we just, I don't know, we just get sidetracked, and so we decide to swing a little bit differently on a subconscious level. Then that can offset where the ball gets, how the ball gets thrown, how much spin it has. All those things can be slightly different because Blue Eyes hurt differently. Blue Eyes threw differently because I don't actually understand what we're working with. You see this score right here, 279. I couldn't tell you how Blue Eyes did it. Besides, Blue Eyes knocked over 10 pins to 10 and 10, 10 to 10, then 9 and 1 and 10 to 10. That's what Blue Eyes did. But how? Well, yeah, I mean, there's an extent to how Blue Eyes did it. I couldn't tell you because I don't understand the sport like that. I don't understand the sport enough. I don't think most people do, because there isn't that much out there that really explains. Seemingly, remember I did say there was that video that said this is how you bowl and switch sports, but I never clicked on it, and I'm not going to search for it. If it shows up, I might be curious, but I'm going to hold back on that. And again, that's the only video I've seen. Yeah. I don't know. Even us, I feel like, I wouldn't say that this is the case with me, but there's a chance that maybe you might interpret what you've seen in the past as, okay, so this guy's saying this is what you need to do. But I think it's easy for someone to feel like they figured it out and then make those confirmations early. Though to be fair, I think that's why when Barbara was doing the thing, when Barbara did that thing that one night, we are going over time, when Barbara did the thing that one night, I really wanted to figure out what it was. And so I was saying, if Barbara can get 300 multiple times in a row, then I feel like maybe we got something. But Barbara didn't do it. At any point, Barbara didn't do it. There was only one time where she got 300 twice in a row, but she didn't make the third one. And that made me think, well, whether you like it or not, we haven't figured it out yet. If you still can't get 3, even if it's just 3, you still can't get 3. You still can't get 300 3 times in a row. So it's looking promising, but it's not. It doesn't look concrete enough. And so it doesn't surprise me that much that when Blue Eyes went out the following day, because we didn't fully understand how Barbara did the thing. And that's also why when Blue Eyes did do it, Blue Eyes did go out, I was looking at her gameplay, and I thought, wait, but Blue Eyes, what's happening? I don't understand what's going on. Because we never did. We never knew what was going on. But we wanted to feel like we did, yes, and also we wanted to know what was going on, but we just didn't. There's still more to learn. But yeah, that's also why I'm not sure if that video actually has the tools. I feel like if it did, people would probably comment on our stuff, talking about it. Maybe even Rohan 1 and 2, maybe even Rohan would have the rank because he would have watched that video and thought, oh yeah, this is it. He would have done it. That's what I'm thinking, because I know the tutorial is just a tutorial, but he's used, for example, the golf. I don't know if he's used the golf tutorial because he's good at golf. He's probably played the older games too, but he knows how to play golf. The game gives you help with that, the hooking and the power and all that. Helps you get used to how Nintendo Switch Sports Golf works. And he's beyond Infinity 30 though. Oh, last I checked. So, if he can get any concrete information about how, because I'm sure he wants to have that rank. He wants to be in the Infinity Rank League for every sport. And he did it for me. I'm sure he did it for volleyball. It's certainly close in the one stream that I keep referencing. I'm sure he's done it for Chumbara, and I don't know if he's done it for badminton. He has done it for tennis. He's done it for tennis, he's done it for basketball, he's done it for golf, he's done it for volleyball. I don't know about badminton, and certainly he hasn't done it in bowling. Unless he has now. I haven't checked. And football, he feels like he can't do it. I mean, he can, but he feels like it's too technical. I also don't blame him because you need good teammates. Because the truth is, this is the perspective of Midnight that I do understand. The truth is, if you want to win a match, your teammates need to be able to cover areas that you're not covering. And it's like, if you want to go to a position, your teammate needs to also be able to cover the positions that you're not covering. Otherwise, like with Fumiko, you just end up always in the goal. And even though they're not in the goal, Fumiko doesn't know to be in the goal either, to be the goalkeeper. So then the whole team is just doesn't work. It's almost like you need to be able to play in all positions, so that if other people aren't in a certain position, you can cover it, and then they need to be able to cover the positions properly that they're covering, and all the other teammates need to be able to do that. And yeah, I guess even with football, there's a bit of various technicalities to it, which also depend on your opposition, because they could do different things. Like with volleyball, you don't know necessarily what they're going to do. You could know all the techniques, but then they could do something that you weren't prepared for, and that's it. So I understand why he hasn't reached it for that sport. They also don't know what goes into that sport. I like the sport, but I don't know what goes into it. It doesn't surprise me that he's not there for it yet. But he's there for lots of them. And bowling's not one of them, and I feel like that's why, because there isn't much out there for him to work with in terms of how do you do this. Even Leisure Spin, I don't know if Leisure's actually taught us how to do it. You've seen it from Leisure, but it's like, okay, so what do you actually do with your job? Because I feel like if people could see that, and it was something that you could teach step by step. How do you train your wrist to be able to do that? How do you train your wrist, train your brain to understand how to train your wrist? That's also my idea of Fumiko Spin, because you could be in a spot and think, yeah, I need to twist this way, but then how much based on where Blue Eyes is facing? because that's sort of the depth, that's like the intensity of, that is the sort of intensity that the tutorial would need to have, if that makes sense. It needs to go into that much depth, because if it doesn't and it leaves gaps, then you'll look at it and think, okay, that's cool, but how do I do this? I think that's why Rohan hasn't reached it for bowling. He can. And he'd want it. But he hasn't. I think that is all that needs to be said. I would like to say more, but you know how that goes. So I think we'll just go. Thanks again, Blue Eyes, and I'm not sure when I'll see you next.